Phenotype. Noun. The observable physical or biomechanical characteristics of an organism as determined by both genetic makeup and environmental influences. Hey, I'm Katakuri, and I like manga. A whole lot. Enter Naruto. Published in 1997, Naruto was illustrated and written by mangaka Masashi Kishimoto. The story takes place in a fantastical, engaging, beautiful, diverse, feudalistic world, with a focus on the lives and stories of ninja living in this world, specifically the main character, Naruto. The series found wild success, and since its debut, online creators have seemed to explore basically everything in the verse to the extreme. There's channels now that rewrite the story at this point. Sometimes, it seems as if everything has been explored and every question answered to the highest possible degree. And while that might be true as far as humans are concerned, I am a roboy from an alternate reality. And with that being said, I think I may have come up with a completely new theory. I call it the Kekkei Senjutsu theory, or the Bloodline Sage Mode theory. What do Orochimaru, Kisame, Kiba, and Naruto and a few other characters have in common? It seems that each of them was born with an animalistic phenotypical trait. Orochimaru has pale skin, purple markings, and snake-like eyes. Kisame has blue skin, gill-like markings, and sharp teeth. Kiba has fangs like a dog and sharp eyes, and Naruto has whiskers like that of a fox. Not to mention the ton of background and side characters with animal-like traits. And it's really weird too. Neither the manga nor anime give any open explanation as to why these animal people exist at all, nor does any character react to them being strange in any way. This kind of shows that animal people are pretty common in this world and have always been. After rereading the manga, I realized the evidence for whom these animal people are and how they're born is right in front of our faces. And as far as I know, no one has come up with this yet. The answer is also really obvious when you think about it. The answer is nature chakra, or nature energy, or whatever. So let's start with Naruto himself, since that's kind of how I formed this theory. His mother, Kushina Uzumaki, had the Jinchuiki of the Nine Tails within her when she became pregnant, permanently altering Naruto to have whisker marks on his face. This shows that the act of child development is physically altered by the presence of Biju chakra. I believe this in utero baptism and dense chakra not only grants the baby an animal phenotypical trait, but also extra chakra that they normally wouldn't have. But then, was everyone's mom a Jinchuriki? Obviously not. So that's where we really start. First, we'll go over a few facts, and then we'll go from there. 1. What are Biju and Jinchuriki respectively? A Biju, or tailed beast, is a giant creature composed of flesh made of chakra, and a Jinchuriki is a human whom has been implanted with a Biju. I'll begin with 4 more points. A. Biju are masses of chakra made solid by being so dense. Early Naruto was full of characters being shocked at just being able to see chakra, and at the Valley of the End, this reaches the point with Naruto first forming chakra arms. B. Biju cannot be killed permanently, and if they are killed, they will simply reform after a time. C. Not all Jinchuriki have an animal trait. In fact, most don't. And D. The traits are often based on animals that are consistent with the biome of the village location that the animal person is from, i.e. snakes and foxes from the forest, sharks in the water, Konoha being a forest biome, and Mizuga being a watery biome. So let's continue. Biju are made of chakra, basically pure energy, but they're solid creatures with organs and skeletons and flesh, which fits into B. If killed, they will reform after time. But if a Biju or will form after a time and are made of chakra, that would mean that a large amount of chakra would have to just coalesce from somewhere. But from what? The only chakra that's abundant in nature is nature chakra or nature energy, whatever. Okay. Duh. Where am I going with this? The story gives us all the pieces. If a human eats the flesh of a biju, they die unless they have some Kaguya alien genealogy or some nonsense, a la Ginkaku and Kinkaku. And when Naruto trains for Sage Mode, he's told that if he absorbs too much nature energy, he will die. And how will he die? By not balancing the nature chakra with his own chakra, or some crap, to make senjutsu or whatever, senjutsu energy, whatever. I'm sorry, let me be more detailed. First, absorbing too much nature energy will transform you from a human to a frog, and then a frog to stone, and this process seems to be extremely rapid, as shown in the Naruto pain fight when he allows a pain to absorb some of his senjutsu, which, if I remember, turns him into a frog and then stone. My headcanon on why that is that too much nature chakra or nature energy makes you into an animal, which is part of nature, which is like level 1 nature, since it lives in nature, and then like a rock, like stone, which is like actual part of nature, like you might see dirt or some stones. Anyways, those who aren't good with Sage Mode tend to have more animalistic traits of the sage animal they trained under, like Jiraiya and Minato, but all sages will have some animal trait, except for like the first Hokage, but I have a theory that's specific to him and why that is. As for Minato, my headcanon for him is that as a genius, he can perfectly utilize senjutsu if he just uses less of it to change into Sage Mode, which then makes his Sage Mode not last as long. Though I don't remember if there's evidence for the whole it not lasting as long thing. I also feel like he probably could use a normal Sage Mode if it does work like that and he uses more nature chakra, but he doesn't because he doesn't want to look ugly like a frogman. I don't have any evidence for that either, but I know it's true in my buzzing, beeping heart. Anyways, let's get back on track. So here it is. What if the ancestors of the people who have animal traits were simply people who, through whatever means and whatever ancestor, was exposed to too much nature chakra, but not so much it killed them and turned them to stone, but instead somehow just enough to permanently disfigure them and then pass those traits down. Or even easier, a few pregnant women just were exposed to a large amount of nature chakra. And maybe it just began that way. The animal people in Naruto are basically pseudo-sages. A baby in utero spends a lot of time being still, and one could say closer to nature, just by being a baby in a mom's stomach in general, which is one of the prerequisites to making senjutsu chakra, staying still to focus. Maybe while the chakra pathway system in Tenketsu or chakra nodes are forming on the baby as it's in its mom's stomach, the baby also bathes in natural energy, to the point perhaps where permanent changes are made to the body, at least as far as Jinchuriki births go. The animal-looking ninja and Naruto also have a few things in common across all those we've seen in the series. They are always stronger than your average ninja in one way or another, as well as being based on an element or jutsu consistent with the animal they're based on. Naruto uses wind, and the Nine Tails were said to create giant tornadoes from wagging its tail. Orochimaru's whole thing is switching bodies like a snake slips out of skin. And Genkaku and Kinkaku bit off a bunch of Kyuubi meat, and like their powers are like, what if we just bit a bunch of stuff? So all their items are like from other people. They just bite stuff from people. Like seriously, you guys are the ones who are supposed to kill the second Hokage? Like what do you do? What are your powers? Oh, and Kisame uses water and shark imagery, and Suigetsu is water, for God's sake. I know water isn't an animal, but like, and just hear me out. Like, if a jellyfish is 95% water, but still 100% alive, doesn't that mean water is 95% alive? or is it jellyfish? 95% dead. I don't know. I need to rest. I haven't slept. In summation, I think this is adequate proof that chakra acts like radiation or some kind of sciencey stuff, and that it causes mutations and like necrosis within biological structures. Chakra is shown to burn, bruise, and break down cells in higher densities, etc., etc. I think even Tsunade describes it as poisonous. Biji chakra, I mean. Anyway, so that's the basic theory. This was more of a rant than anything. This is my first video and junk. Feel free to pick holes in any of this. I'm really curious if I'm like off or if like this makes sense. If you like the theory, throw me a comment and let me know your thoughts or your corrections. And next time I think it'll either be my theory about the truth of the Kamui dimension or my theory about the truth about Mangekyo Sharingan. But if you guys have a topic you're curious about, let me know and comment anyways. I'll be shutting down for now. See ya.